What is going on, everybody? We are back with another Best Bet show. This one is live, just making sure we get this out. Let me just do my whole little get it out in the Discord and all that good stuff too as well. While we're waiting for that, how are you guys doing today?
Vibes are high, man. We got Alex Caruso on the show, so how can't we be excited? We got Thursday night football, NBA right around the corner, MLB postseason. We got NHL. This is the best time of the year, man. Best time of the year.
The best time of the year, the only time that all four major sports all line up and are playing games at the same time. We do not get much of it, so we enjoy it while it's here. And this might be my favorite Thursday night football card that I've had the entire year. Like, there's so many plays that just feel so free today. Like, it is a great day to be great.
We love it. Trevor Lawrence looks like he's going to play. I just saw a notification. So if he's out there, I absolutely love it. If he doesn't play, it's going to be a little nervous, but I still think there's some good props that we can take value on.
We got some weird comments in the chat today. What
do we got?
Someone said I look extra cute today. We're just going to.
That's love.
I think that was pretty rough. But either way, thank you guys for joining. Alex is very confident and very excited for this card. If you did not hear that already, if you're just filing in. Now, I guess we'll talk before we do plays. We're just going to do overall feels of the game. Austin, you said Trevor Lawrence is expected to play now. That just came up.
I just saw it. Like, it seems like he's doing well. They're going to test it on his pregame right before and make like a final decision, but it looks to be he's trending upwards to playing, which we all kind of thought was the result we get.
We have an over-under of 40.5. It's gone down from, I think, 42, 43. Saints on the money line is opened at minus 115 and has now creeped towards minus 130, minus 124, best price on FanDuel. Do you guys have any idea of or any thoughts on the side or total in this game? How do you guys see this game playing out? I guess, Alex, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be a big game for the Saints. I really like a lot of the matchups that they have for both Derek Carr, Chris Olave. We'll talk about that soon, but I'm going to say that the game's going to be over. I think that Trevor Lawrence, like, a lot's being made of this injury that he might not play, but it seems like he's going to suit up. I think these defenses are not as great as everyone thinks for the most part, and I think that this is going to be a higher scoring game than 40 points, despite being a Thursday night matchup.
Yeah, Thursday night matchups are the primetime under. Thursday night is like the, I guess the public thought. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the Thursday night games, it's been tough to take the overs. I'm kind of one of those guys where I'm always like, I'm going to predict the over. It's coming. Like, it's coming, and it hasn't came yet. But I kind of think as well, over 40 just seems right. You get the push at 40, minus 110. I kind of like the spot. And, like, I likewise don't really think this defenses are that tough. Jags run D is going to be really good. And so we'll get into Derek Carr later. But, like, this game, there's going to be a lot of pass attempts, especially if Trevor Lawrence plays. Like, there's a lot of ways this goes over, and I think this is one we see it today.
Yeah, I think the public really wants the over here. I think preseason this game might have had a lot more buzz. Saints, Derek Carr, Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. But the start they had this year were, I guess, both of them were a little worse than expected. The Saints still winning games, but they have a very easy schedule. I thought they'd be a little better. The total has gone, I think, under in 6 straight to start the year. People are saying in the comments under in last 12 Saints games.
Wow.
But the problem is, is it under 40 points or is it the under of what Vegas sets it as? Sooner or later, the tide's got to turn. 40 points is very low. It makes me like my kicker props. I'm not going to lie, especially on the short week. We do see some rough drives, maybe some not as much chemistry going forward. But I think I have to agree with you. Saints money line seems like a pretty decent price at home. Trevor Lawrence banged up, may not even play. I mean, he's probably going to play, but the value in the Saints at home seems like that's where I'd lean. But we don't really have a lot of plays on the money line or total. We do have props. So I guess we'll get started, Mr. Excited for the slate. Alex, give me a play that you're really excited for tonight.
Yeah, I think my favorite play of the night is probably going to have to be Christian Kirk over 4.5 receptions right now. I know this line's probably going to move really quickly, but the Saints run the third most man coverage of any team in the NFL, and they've played the Chiefs and the Falcons, who are 4th and 7th in man. And Christian Kirk had 12 and 14 receptions in those games versus the man-heavy teams. He sees a 32% target share versus man coverage. This is where he thrives. And beyond that, when you talk about the Saints corners, their worst corner for sure is their slot cornerback. He gives up a higher catch rate, a higher fantasy points per route than any other corner they have. So it's the weakness of their defense. And this is a prime matchup for Christian Kirk, getting that over 4.5 receptions.
Yeah, I agree with that. Totally on that as well. I see a lot of guys on Kirk, a lot of guys on Ingram. If you do like the Saints money line, game script is also favorable with them throwing late. And everyone is asking me, another comment just popped up, do we worry at all about the late Lawrence scratch with regards to Kirk? I do like it less if Lawrence doesn't play, but I am anticipating that he does play. And I think if he does play, the line starts to move and the juice starts to overflow. Thoughts on Alex? You want to answer that question?
Yeah, I think that's completely fair, especially if CJ Beathard starting, it's never going to be as good. But even if he did start, I would still be taking this line because I think that it's going to favor, a lot of these backup guys aren't throwing deep. It's going to be slot, short, and intermediate targets, which is exactly where Christian Kirk thrives. So there is worry with Lawrence, but these star quarterbacks always find a way to play. When they says they're expected to play, they're rarely late scratches. So I'm fully confident with this.
Yeah, I agree. Also, before we move forward, I fumbled the bag in the beginning. Let me go back. First of all, subscribe to the FlashPicks YouTube channel. We're going to try to do this more often, and we need you guys to subscribe and show love in the comments while this is going on and after, and we will do this a lot more for you guys. We love the support that you guys give us, so make sure you're subscribed to the FlashPicks YouTube channel. We want to hit 5K subscribers, and we think we'll hit it soon. And we may do a giveaway when that happens as well, so make sure you're subbed. And also, if you like the way Alex talks and you want to know more about Alex's stuff, I pinned his stuff in the description. You follow him on Twitter and also subscribe to his free newsletter where he posts all of his plays a little bit earlier and all free right in your email. It's in the description below. And the always handsome as well, Austin Props, has also made a free newsletter. You know where he is on Twitter. It's always in the description, so I don't need to tell you guys. But his free newsletter is also starting up. He's going to be not as active, I think, starting, but as you get more used to it, the plays will be there as well for them to see. So if you want to talk about that, Austin, feel free. If not, we'll keep moving forward.
Totally. Yeah, I'm going to try to do it 4 to 5 times a week. Another way where I can kind of give you guys more content. You'll see all my stuff laid out. Super easy for you guys to follow. And just another way where if the Twitter algorithm doesn't pop up on your feed, you're able to still be notified. All completely free, so I appreciate the support. But yeah, that's all good. Thanks, Chucks.
Yeah, Austin, do you want to go into your other play that you posted today and talk about it a little more?
Yeah, I posted my 2. I'm on Kirk as well with Alex and Matty. And yeah, it's shot up to minus 165 right now. So obviously some of that's because a lot of the line movement we put out. But I think even if Beathard goes, it's probably going to go back down to about minus 120, minus 125 if I had to guess. I don't think it would drop a reception. So I mean, it's Christian Kirk. You know what I mean? He's going to be in the slot. They're going to have design screenplays for him. There's going to be 2-yard slant route for him. Like, there's a lot of ways they're going to get him involved just on short yardage situation, along with he's going to go downfield and air it out as well. But I think there's so much upside. Even if Beathard plays, he's probably the beneficent of that. Like, Calvin Ridley's probably not going to be as useful in that matchup, So going on to the next one, though, Derek Carr over 31.5 pass attempts. This line's kind of shot all over the place. I know Alex is probably going to play this. I know Chuck's I was talking to about it as well. There's just a lot of ways it could go over. I'm pulling up my write-up right now real quick. But I liked all 3-4 receiving options. I liked Kamara. I liked Thomas. I liked Olave. And I couldn't really decide, which one am I feeling more with? I didn't want to just have to guess on one of those. So I figured 31.5 is just a great pass attempt line for him on prime time. I've seen a lot of success from it. I just was at that Bills-Jaguars game, saw Josh Allen throw 40 attempts. Gardner Minshew threw 55 last week. So the second most pass attempts to opposing quarterbacks this defense is allowing, 39.3 per game. So there's just a lot of ways it can go over, and it just feels like a really solid spot at 31.5.
If I can add to that, I mean, with Derek Carr, like he actually passes the ball way more against below average teams. And this is the first below average team against quarterbacks that he's faced all season. He's hit this number against these below average teams in 16 of his last 19 games. His 3 misses were 30, 30, and 31. Like he has been right there when he does miss. His last time under 30 was all the way back in 2020. So this is a perfect line for him. I'm with you right as well.
Love it. We're going to have a shot no matter what. You know what I mean? That's all you can really ask. We're going to be right there. The numbers back it. And, I mean, this is one of the best run defenses in the NFL. They're going to try to stop the run right away and erase it. They did it against the Bills. They did it against the Colts last week. Zach Moss and Taylor did nothing. So if they stop that run and just kind of say, hey, you guys are going to have to pass, I think it benefits everyone, honestly, because everyone's got the receiving props. So really, really like it. Chucks?
No, I like it. I like this game a lot. This is one of the first primetime games on Thursday that I feel like the spread says it's going to be competitive. They're 2 offenses that you can find props in and actually trust. You're not rooting for 2 teams where, like the Broncos, you don't know what even to look at. There's a lot of good wide receivers, good running backs, 2 good quarterbacks in my opinion. So it should be a fun game to watch, fun game to bet on. And I hope that the public is pleased with this Thursday night football game compared to others. I'm going to bring up a kicker prop. I can't decide who I want to go with. I'm either going Blake Grupe on the Saints or Brandon McManus on the Jaguars. The reason why I like McManus on the Jaguars, I guess I'll play both sides, and Alex or Austin, you guys can interject if you guys want to as well. McManus, he's gotten 3 – he either gets 3 attempts or 1 attempt. He got 1 attempt versus the Bills, 1 attempt versus the Colts in week 1. And he's had 3 attempts versus the Falcons, 3 attempts versus the Texans, 3 versus the Chiefs, and 3 in last week versus the Colts. And the reason why I like the field goals here is that the Saints haven't allowed a rushing touchdown or a receiving touchdown to a running back. So if Trevor Lawrence has difficulty or they shut down some red zone defense and don't allow a touchdown and they don't catch it in the end zone, to me, they're going to have to settle for field goals. The only reason why I am iffy on it is that if they're losing late and they have 1, they're going to have to go for the touchdown, not the field goal. Alex, do you want to add on to this, Austin, at all?
No, I think that's a really good point. I mean, just with the things, I mean, we might talk about later. I really like ETN under fantasy score just because they haven't allowed a touchdown to running backs. I think that says a lot. And their outside corners have still been a little bit tougher, which I think all favors field goals. I mean, really the only guy that is really going to dominate this defense is Christian Kirk. I think he's in for a big game, and the defense isn't great, but they've been stingy come the red zone. That's the more important part for field goals. Is like the worst, the best part of their defense is the red zone.
Yeah. Bend, don't break mentality.
My only like fear I would have with that is like you were saying Bailey Groupie, you kind of were eyeing.
Yeah, Group A, I think he's had 2+ attempts in every single week.
Yeah, I guess I honestly couldn't knock it. Kickers are so tough for me, but you've been spot on with them, so I'll play it if you're in for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. First of all, you're right. 130 watching, only 7 likes. Like the video.
Facts.
We're not asking for a lot. No, I'm just kidding.
It's free.
It's a little bit effort, but maybe we'll do a moment of silence for a like of this video. All right, that's enough. You guys should have liked it already. That's how little effort it takes to like the video. Any questions in the chat? Alex, I guess I'll let you talk about one more of your plays, and then we can get comments in the chat going.
I think we'll go back to a Jaguars prop. I kind of hinted at it a little bit, but I'm taking Travis Etienne under 15 fantasy score on DFS books right now. I mean, this is a perfect spot for him because, 1, the Saints in 6 games have not allowed a rushing or receiving touchdown. Beyond that, Travis Etienne in the passing game is the quickest way to get to this line if he's not scoring touchdowns. And the Saints run that 3rd highest rate of man coverage. Travis Etienne sees a target on only 6% of his routes versus man coverage in the passing game. So even in the passing game, this is where he's going to struggle. So if they don't allow touchdowns, he's not good against this coverage in the passing game. Like, where is he going to find it when on top of that, the Saints allow the 4th fewest yards per carry to running backs? So this is like everywhere all at once. Even if Trevor Lawrence is not fully healthy, they're probably going to score less points, which hurts Travis Etienne anymore. So rather than do the yards, just take the under fantasy score because he's probably not going to score a touchdown.
I like that analysis a lot.
Likewise.
Yeah, I think the only way he scores a receiving touchdown is when they're Matty's burner fishing for likes. I wish I had a burner. You guys think I have too much time on my hands. I think the receiving touchdown only happens if they're playing a zone defense and it's a little dump off and he tries to break a tackle or to get in the end zone. I don't think he's catching the ball in man. And honestly, the Saints have such a good rush defense right now that I don't think he breaks through in the red zone, honestly. And I don't think Lawrence, he's gonna have to throw the ball. I think they're gonna be stacking the box. And if he's got a bum knee, it's a sprained knee, right? I think is what Lawrence is dealing with. Right. That's gonna be tough. So to me, it makes me lean the field goals. If we can get Travis Etienne under and some field goals, that'd be a great day. I'm stacking both kickers. Brett, I might be with you. Honestly, I think they're both good looks. Rooster asks you, Alex, if you can't take fantasy, would you take under 65.5 yards?
Yeah, I think I'd still be willing to. I think I worry a little bit about the play just because, like, you could play the game of where, okay, Trevor Lawrence is hurt or CJ Beathard's starting, so maybe they really just feed the rock to ETN so he can rack up some more yards. If anything, because of his low target rate, I'd probably take the under on either receptions or receiving yards for ETN just because of how bad he is against man coverage. I don't mind the 65.5, but I'd just rather be taking the receiving unders or the fantasy score under.
Yeah, no, I love that angle. And also, if they're losing late, again, same sort of game script in your favor in the fourth quarter. If they're losing, they're going to be throwing the ball. I guess we'll go to our first touchdown scorers. You guys can choose whose first touchdown scorer you like the best. No stating how many first touchdown scorers you've gotten right in the last couple weeks to make it fair. Alex, no, I'm just kidding. But we're all going to pick a guy. The rule is it's got to be plus 1,000 or higher on at least some popular legal book. Austin, we're going to start with you.
All right. Well, I got Rashid Shaheed. I always like to take these dreamers. I wouldn't recommend putting a ton of units on them, but I always like to put, the flyers. It's plus 1,600. And, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see this guy break a big one. He's flashy. I like the spot.
Yeah, I think he's a good target in that end zone for sure. And no other wide receiver on that team would be a good option. So we'll go into Alex's pick after that.
Well, I mean, I know you said they can't be breaking the rules, but I'm going to break them anyway, especially when in my newsletter, I've hit 4 of the last 7 first touchdown props. All of them were really like a little bit of long shots. Definitely some luck involved, but I think this is the week for Chris Olave. He plays most of his snaps on the outside, and the Jaguars are the second worst team versus outside corners versus their main coverages. He sees a 43% air yard share versus them, which means that he is getting the ball anywhere and everywhere all over the field. Right now, he's second in the NFL in air yards behind only A.J. Brown, which means that they've just missed him on a lot of deep targets. I think this is the week that he scores a touchdown. This is the strength of the Saints where the Jaguars are not great on the outside corners. I think it's a perfect spot for him to get that first touchdown.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. Those are actual stats. I actually hit 5 of the last 7. I'm just kidding. Don't believe me. I don't think I've hit 1 this year, but we only did it like 3 times for us on the show. And first touchdowns, the one was like Ronnie Bell, so that thing doesn't even count. But I'm gonna pick a guy on the Jaguars team because honestly, he's strategic against you guys, and I don't want all of our viewers to have to root for the Saints to score. So I'm going to go Evan Ingram, big body in the end zone, plus 1,500. I know everyone loves tight ends on prime time, but to me, big target, especially if Trevor Lawrence plays, is a good red zone target. We talked about how the Saints don't allow rushing touchdowns, so it's going to be most likely a pass, and I like Evan Ingram in the end zone. I think Christian Kirk gets us to the red zone, and Evan Ingram finishes us off plus 1,500. And that's basically the show for you guys. Guys in the comments, if you have any questions on certain props, we'll give a couple minutes to answer some questions. If not, we'll gladly let everyone go on their day and get ready for the game tonight. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so we'll bring something else up. Have you guys looked up any other plays for this week or any games for this week, or do you guys have your mind only on Thursday?
It's winning time today. My mind is on Thursday. My mind is on a sweep today. This is, like I said, this is probably my favorite card all season. I'm inevitably going to reverse sweep just because I'm way too excited about this. I think those are like all the plays that we talked about, like Carr over on pass attempts. I think Olave over receiving yards would be the only other one going with the first touchdown play for me.
Yeah.
You got someone not happy outside, huh?
Yeah, Boston traffic just hits different. But Olave over 60 receiving yards, like I mentioned, high air yard share. He dominates versus these coverages. Jaguars have poor outside corners, so beyond the first touchdown, it's also a perfect matchup for him.
Yeah, no, I think this is finally the first primetime game on Thursday that we could be excited for. This guy said any lottos you like. Stay tuned. We're definitely getting some lottos out on this game. It should be a good time. And to answer your question about hockey, yeah, we're gonna get some more hockey videos like this coming up too, and maybe some basketball as well. This guy's on his wife's YouTube account. I don't think I'm gonna call you Victoria if your name's not Victoria, but I appreciate you tuning into the show. That is gonna be it, guys. Since there's no more questions and we kind of talked about everything, all of Alex's plays will be out on his newsletter in an hour and a half.
Yep.
Austin's got his plays locked and loaded. Go follow his account for some late picks, maybe, or just some good vibes before the game starts. I may have one or two more plays out as well, so stay tuned on Twitter. I'm definitely gonna have some lottos out, so stay tuned for that as well. Remember to subscribe. Make sure to like the video. We'll catch you guys next time. Check out the description for everything. Peace out. Best luck on your bets. Peace.